The Ole Miss Rebel, round 1, pick number 25. The New York Giants trade back into the first round to go and get their quarterback. I love the reaction. I told Bob Papa this. There's just nothing more authentic than a head coach that's excited about drafting a quarterback, because Dave Buck gave it when he got picked there. He tried to play it cool after the fact. I'm sure he went outside and smoked a nice cigar after.
Yeah, sure, he did that.
But they got Jaxson Dart. They got their quarterback of the future. Your thoughts on Jaxson Dart and being a New York Giant? We keep the Ole Miss connection alive with the New York Giants.
The Morehead State connection is just not quite ready yet, but it's coming. But
right.
Jaxson Dart, there's many things to say, and I'll try to be succinct and quick. He's drafted, of course, by the Giants. The Giants did extensive work on him, working him out, pro day, talking, meetings, everything. They did this with all the quarterbacks who they thought they might draft, and they spent overtime with Shedeur Sanders. They worked out Tyler Shuck at the last second to make sure, and they put it all together. And clearly, whatever, Brian Daboll is tough. He wants his quarterback to be tough and that ultimate leader. And of course, everybody always brings up Josh Allen because he was with him. And I'm sure, what's wrong with looking for a quarterback that has the same demeanor, the toughness, and all these other things? And here, as it got longer, or as the draft got closer, I started liking Jaxson Dart even more. And I say this, is I watched the games, how he played, his decision-making was good. He can find 1, 2, and 3, which is huge in the NFL. He can make the throws down the field. But the one that really hit me, Matt, I said, oh my God, I got to give his mobility a little more credit than I've done so far this offseason. Now, this is all before the draft. And so he won me over. And I watched Tyler Shuck, and I thought some of the same things. I watched Shedeur Sanders again. I saw things I liked, but I also saw things I didn't like. So we'll talk about that later. But Jaxson Dart, I think he's going to, the more I just watch it and think about it, I think he's going to be a pleasant surprise for the New York Giants and the New York Giant fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you, along with a lot of other people too, that were evaluating the quarterback position for this year's draft, you did have that ever revolving door, I feel like, of the 2, 3, 4 spot and how you rank these guys, where it was like initial reaction was Shedeur is number 2. And then you kind of watch the film and you're like, man, I don't know, maybe Jaxson Dart's 2. Then you watch a little bit more film and I like this kid Shuck a lot. Maybe he's the second best quarterback. Maybe it's Dart. Maybe Shedeur's the 4th. So I think you, along with a lot of others, you could make a case for really all 3 of the guys that we're going to discuss here as far as why maybe they could have been the number 2 or number 3 quarterback on people's boards. I'm excited for Jaxson Dart. It's funny too. A lot of people are saying, he's got a long way to go before he's NFL ready. He needs a little bit more time. And I mean, now, what? Do I want him to play right away? No, I do not. And this is why you have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston on your roster. But at the same time, I do think that his skill set and what he does extremely well as far as just playing in rhythm, like you said, he'll be ready to go sooner rather than later. And I do believe that Coach Daboll will be able to build an offense for him that he can manage easily as a young quarterback, all right, and continue to gain confidence throughout the year.
Hey, let's go back to it real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a gimmicky offense. And again, I just go, wow, I don't see that. I didn't see, it was clever. It's not gimmicky like it's some stupid little trick we do over here. And you see that gimmicky offense, people that use these phrases, it's because they wanted to knock Jaxson Dart down. That's right. The only reason they did it. And, I think his toughness is underrated. He did play in the SEC. He played under lots of pressure, lots. Got hit a lot, got sacked, hung in there. The SEC had 40 defensive players drafted, 40. I mean, they played against defenses Ole Miss did. You look at South Carolina, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
Those are pro defensive lines out there. And so, that bothered me when people started bringing up, when you know who I'm talking about. He fell apart in the Florida game. Oh my God. Okay. Like I say, it's like playing in the NFL and you play quarterback in the SEC, just because it's every game is wicked. Hell, you play Kentucky. I watched that game. He got rattled for that. They couldn't get away from anybody.
Yeah.
Kentucky, you thought they had all pros back there playing in the secondary. They did have one that was really good. They couldn't get open, so they had to start changing things during the game to help the receivers. It worked out okay, but they still lost the game. So it just shows you the competition, what he's used to. He's used to being under the pressure, the big stadiums, just everything you want to say. He's ready for it. And I do like his personality too also. It's kind of a little bit of everything. A little fun, serious, tough. He's got it all as far as that is concerned.
Yeah, it's good too, because Jaxson Dart, he's coming into a group now, a lot of good young football players with a little bit of mix of veteran leadership as well in that offensive room for him, right, to learn from it, adapt to it. Of course, the Giants getting Abdul Carter with their first pick in the first round, so that defensive line keeping up with the Joneses down there in Philadelphia. It's building, and there's a lot of really good pieces. And now, you just kind of hope that there isn't that pressure for him to maybe play too soon if he isn't ready, because of the fact that, of course, Coach Daboll and Shane, they have pressure to win and be successful and start the year off well. And you don't want them to feel the pressure of playing a young quarterback before he's really ready to go, because of some of the exterior things that are going on outside the building and the pressure from the media and the fan base. So we'll see how it all plays out. Jaxson Dart has all the tools. We're excited for him. I think the receiving room too should be excited about the new quarterbacks that they have in the building. Should feel a little rejuvenated going into this year, despite how tough last year was for that football team. So excited for the New York Giants to get back on track in year 101.
Yeah, Matt, let me just, I'm not going to put him on the field till he's ready. And I think the adjustment is going to be pretty quick for him. I mean, before he said it, just who he faced and what they did.
Right.
And this is why they met with him and worked him over to make sure he's ready for all this. And I think, and this whole thing, I hope the guy gets to sit for 2 or 3 years to learn. I mean, come on. Quit saying it, everybody. We got 2 examples, and we always got a fault. Well, Jordan Love said, well, no kidding. He's behind Aaron Rodgers. You're not grooming him. You just hope he's a good backup. And of course, Aaron Rodgers with Brett Favre. But the time period to adjust to the NFL is short. You got to show him right away. And I think he's ready for a lot of this stuff. And I think the New York Giants know that. When the time is right, he's going to play. And we'll see how the talent, that's probably what I was always like to watch with all quarterbacks. Will I see it right away in the NFL? Or is it going to be, he's going to have to adjust and learn to do things a little differently because the NFL is just much tougher.